and welcome to Capital Times. I'm Karen Agnew, and you're joining us once again for a fun-filled half an hour of information as to what's going to be going on at the Capitol Theatre right here in Nelson. My first guest today is Heather Hutchinson. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Heather. She's been on this cable channel quite a few times before, right, darling?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Now, Heather is coordinator of Oasis Productions.
Yep.
And we have a concert coming up very shortly. Perhaps you can tell us all about it.
Okay, Karen, and away we go. All right. I think I'll just start, though, with our basic fall lineup at Oasis Productions or at the Kootenay Weekly Express. We're all under the same umbrella at this point. Our first production coming up is Ferron on September the 21st, then Connie Kaldor, and then Lorena McKennitt. Lorena is going to be November the 19th, by the way.
Okay, let's talk about Ferron. I've seen the posters out everywhere. They're most intriguing.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if there might be a little political story or a little atmosphere going on with her kind of music, if you could tell us about.
The last time Ferron was here was about 2 years ago.
Yes.
She's been on the scene for quite a few years, and she's very popular here in Canada, but a lot in the United States. You could say at this point, or up to this point, her following has been mainly from the feminist community, from the women's community, but as she goes on in her career, it's broadening more and more. She is a beautiful, beautiful songwriter. She is a real poetess. One quote says that they're going to call Dylan the Ferron of the 70s, basically.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, no, she's a very intriguing songwriter and probably one of the most charismatic performers that I've ever seen. Quite a few of you out there probably saw her the last time she came to town. There was about 300 people, and the first part of her concert was quite chatty and quite upbeat, and then the second part of it became, I don't know, she just created this mood. That just got deeper and deeper and deeper, and each of us, that just kept coming deeper and deeper and deeper into each person listening to that concert, basically. So that
was it the content of what she was singing, or
it's the content and the feeling and the way that she performs it.
Yes.
Her voice is she's been compared a lot to Leonard Cohen. She's sort of the Leonard Cohen equivalent, female equivalent in Canada, basically. She's not like a beautiful singer like Lorena McKennitt, you might say Lorena is, but her feeling that she portrays in her songs and the content of it is very, I don't know, it's hard to describe. It's very, very strong.
We're talking major stage presence here.
Major. The Boston Globe named her last album, Shadow on a Dime, as one of the top 10 albums of the year, and so did Rolling Stone. And now she's got a new album out called Phantom Center, which I'm sorry I don't have a copy of this time. What I did bring was a tape from Shadows on a Dime.
Great, we'll hear a little bit of that a little later on, actually, yes.
Yeah.
So when you say that she begins the concert by being in a fairly chatty mode, is she communicating with the audience?
Oh yeah, very much so. And I mean, it might be that way this time and it might not be. I mean, she's one of those performers. You're never going to get this is my performance, this is my shtick, this is how I do my concert. It's going to be this song followed by the next one, and I'm going to do it in the prescribed way. She's not like that at all.
Right.
She writes what she feels. She performs it the way she feels at the moment. I mean, she's a very honest performer. I'll say that. She's not one of those, here it is, and here's my next song, and here she goes on to the next song. It's not like that at all. It's a woman who invests every bit of her soul into whatever she's doing at the time.
All her music is her own music?
It's all her own music. This time she's accompanied by two men. Last time she was here in Nelson, she was solo. This time she's accompanied by Don Benedictson, who some of you might remember from the last Connie Kaldor. He plays bass, and a man named Arlen Johnson from Santa Fe, New Mexico, who's an incredible guitar player. She's a good musician in her own right, but between
What is
the
she
three
playing?
of them,
I'm sorry, my ignorance is here, but
guitar.
she is playing guitar.
Yeah, so you're
Yes.
going to see, basically it's 3 guitar players. It's a blend of 3 different guitars here.
Oh, neat.
3 excellent guitar players. So,
Are they buddies of a sort, or
well,
these
sure.
3 to get together? I mean,
You
will
have
this
to
be
be.
will this be a fun experience for the 3 of them to be
Oh,
on
yeah.
stage together like this?
Yeah, no, this is the crew that she's picked for her, her Canadian part of her tour, sort of type of thing. And so, no, it'll be a good concert. It's going to be a concert where you're going to have to sit and really listen to this woman's words, because that's the kind of writer she is.
Okay.
She's very strong that way.
Worldwide tour? Are we talking North
Between
American?
North America at this point to focus attention on her new album.
How long has she been around? I mean, I don't mean around. I mean, how long has she been performing and touring as such?
I'd say about 12 years or so.
Great.
Yeah, so this is a seasoned performer here that we've got.
Good.
Yeah, no, quite a well-seasoned performer here. And
Can we
she's
show
very
a picture of
Sure.
Ferron?
There you go. So here's a picture of Ferron,
That's Ferron.
who you're going to see September the 21st at the Capitol Theatre at 8 o'clock p.m. Can I mention ticket prices here
Please
at this
do,
point?
yes.
Okay. Ticket prices are $14 a ticket. That includes GST. Tickets are available at the Capitol Theatre, at the Kootenai Weekly Express, at Eddie Music, and at Oliver's here in town, and at Pete's TV in Castlegar. Is it okay at this point? I just want to mention our ticket policy.
Yes, please.
Yeah, because it's the start of a new season for a lot of us.
Please do.
And I just want to mention our ticket policy at the Express, basically, which is this, is mostly our tickets come on sale about 2 weeks before the event. You can always call us at the office, 354-3910, to see if tickets are out or if I have them at the office. What we do is we try and price our tickets as low as we possibly can. I do have an article coming out in the Express shortly, probably by next week, that kind of explains what it takes to put a concert together. Why does a concert cost so much? Why do we all love doing what we're doing? All of that kind of thing. And I just wanted to explain at this point what our ticket policy is basically we take money. We take checks.
No money.
Oh, yes, we take checks. We're a very old-fashioned business here. We don't take credit cards. If any handicapped person wants to come, usually it's a 2-for-1 ticket with whoever's bringing them. If you have to have an aide that helps you come, we'll do a 2-for-1 on that.
There is handicap seating available at the Capitol also.
Yeah,
so
it's great, and it's great seating and great sound, actually.
You're right, yes.
At the back, it's wonderful. And the thing is, if you can't come to the concert, you can bring, it's best for us if you bring your ticket back to the office at 554 Ward Street, and we'll give you your money back. For all of our events, one thing we realize is that maybe you'll get to a concert and you might not like the concert for some reason or another, or you've come down with something, or some illness.
An avalanche
hit you, you've got a headache, you can't come to a concert that night, your babysitter decided she wouldn't or he wouldn't show up.
Yes.
Just come to the box office and we'll refund the money. But also what we've decided is, if within the first 15 minutes of the concert or so, you just can't be there for whatever reason, we'll refund your money at that point. Please don't wait till the end of the concert to say, oh, I really didn't like this, or
well, that's a bit stupid.
yeah, well,
Yes.
sometimes we all have to deal with this.
I would have said it's extremely generous of you to go with the 15-minute decision anyway. That's more than kind.
Yeah, well, we figure, sometimes it's just not people's cup of tea, and we do want you to be satisfied and to enjoy it, because what we believe is everybody that we bring in is a top professional, and I never have any doubts about the quality of anybody's work that comes here, but sometimes it just doesn't appeal.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so.
Well, I think those policies are more than adequate. Excellent,
Yeah,
excellent. Just quickly before we break, can we quickly run down the other 2 concerts that you've got coming up, just so those people out there who didn't get it the first time might want to jot it down?
Sure.
So that they know what's happening next.
Okay, so I'll just quickly, Connie Kaldor's coming back too. This concert's going to be on a Thursday night, October the 16th. She's going to be accompanied by 2 people too. One is, once again, Donna Benedictson.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he works out of the prairies and he's very good. So
Great.
yeah, he's used by a lot of people because he's a good bassist. And another person, I don't know who it is at this point.
Surprise us. Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people really love Connie because all her material is original too.
Mm-hmm.
And she writes a lot about her own foibles, and she's quite light. And then the last concert in this particular series will be Lorena McKennitt. She was here last year, sponsored by the Capitol Theatre.
Heard really good things about her.
Oh, it was a beautiful concert.
Mm-hmm.
This time she's back, and she's back with her band this time.
Great.
So I think that's going to be a really very special, beautiful night too.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to all of this.
Sounds like a great lineup. Okay. Once again, can we give out the phone number just one more time
Sure.
for those people, because now they have the pencil in their hand and they're just like ready to write it down.
Oh yes, I'm sure
and
they
then
are,
we'll
right?
take a break.
Okay, great. So if you have any questions about any of these concerts at all and ticket prices and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you can call me. I'm Heather Hutchinson at the Express office at 354-3910. Be glad to take your call, be glad to answer any questions I possibly can. Oh, and one other thing. Since the last time Connie was here, she's had a baby, and she is traveling with.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, he's a little roadie. He's less than a year old. So
in the biz already.
yeah,
huh?
he is. He's already. And that's life on the road, isn't it? Yeah.
You bet it is.
Especially for women, it's
The ultimate.
yeah, it's kind of strange this time. We've got no, it's not. Maybe it's not too strange, but we've got 3 women performers here, headliners.
Good stuff, though. Sounds like
So-
great concerts.
Yeah, we'll
Okay,
be.
well, I hope you will come back and tell us a little more detail about the other ones as they come
Sure,
up.
yeah.
Please do.
Be glad to,
Thank
yeah.
you very much for being on the show.
Okay, thanks a
And
lot.
I'm sure we'll probably see you tomorrow. Okay.
Maybe later today.
This could be right.
Okay, great.
Thanks a lot, Heather.
Okay, thanks for having me.
And we will be right back after this break. Please have a little listen. We're going to listen to some Ferron music on the way out and on the way back in again. Be right back.
They said some men would be warriors, and some men would be kings, and some men would be owners of land and other man-made things. And false love as the eternal flame would move some to thinking rings, and gold would be our power, and other foolish things. But you who dream of liberty must not yourselves be fooled. Before you get to plead for freedom, you have agreed to be in rule. If the body stays a shackle, then the mind remains a chain.
We are back, and yes, you are watching Capital Times. I'm Karen Agnew, and my second guest today is Margaret Stacey from the Capitol Theatre, who is actually the manager of the Capitol Theatre. You've all seen her a few times on the show before, and she's got a lot of really good information to tell us about today. First up, though, I would like to remind all of you out there that Tuesday, September 3rd, there are auditions for the Nelson Little Theatre's production of the Mikado, and that will be at 7 p.m. at the Capitol Theatre. Maybe, Margaret,
I should tell you,
if you want to give us a little...
I actually had somebody come in today and said,
Blip.
She said, what's the Mikado? And I said, oh boy, I bet there's generations out there who don't know what the Mikado is. It's written in the 1880s, British writer Gilbert and British music writer Sullivan collaborated to put together these satires on English life. Usually they satirize the police force. They love governments, and they just anything that they can find to poke fun at, they will. But really, their highlight is their focus is music, and they do special musical patterns that haven't been repeated by anybody else.
ever.
Anyway, they did tons of these plays, and we're familiar with the Mikado, the Gondoliers, the Trial by Jury, anyway, many of these things.
So there's a lot of parts for people out there.
Tons of parts. Cast
Everybody,
of thousands.
no shyness. Get down and audition for this.
But I do understand actually they're going to keep it limited. It isn't the huge cast thing that sometimes the Mikado can be, and they've actually set it instead of in Japan, which was supposed to be a satire on the British for some reason. I think the British were interested in things Oriental in 1880, and that's why Gilbert set it in Japan. But they're going to set it when it was actually where it was actually produced. So it's British stuff. They're still using Japanese names and things like that, but it's have a different twist because these plays have come out of the public domain into the public domain now because Gilbert and Sullivan are dead, and it's been 50 years later or 90 years later. People are exploring these plays and trying to twist them beyond recognition, which is probably what we're going to do. But the music is lovely, and they need all kinds of soloists as well as groups.
Okay, we do have at the Capitol Theatre some sheet music for the men's parts and the female parts. If you would like to come down and pick up a copy, please feel free to, and you can do a little practicing at home or whatever, bone up before the audition. Okay, let's get on to the meat of the conversation here. We have a very, very special concert coming to the Capitol Theatre, and I think there's a lot of people out there who are wondering, how the heck can they be bringing the Phantom concert to Nelson? Can you tell us how?
Yes. I think I have to explain this to everybody who buys a ticket, and they say, yeah. First of all, it's not just the Phantom, but it's Les Miserables and the music of Eckhard Sieber, who's the artistic director, featured in this concert, and it is highlights from these two mega musicals that we're going to see, but not without costume, not without a bit of staging, smoke and mirrors and a bit of that, and some really good vocalists. They're traveling. It's a company that has the rights to use this music in BC as an audience builder for the Phantom stage production in Vancouver. And it seems to me that their tour has caught on, and they seem to be going to just about every city in the province, from what I see of their itinerary.
Now, will even our technicians will be working with their technicians to create some terrific lighting and sound effects and that sort of thing. Also, yes.
I believe they're more interested in sound, but they do have lighting. They do have a lighting plan. They will be traveling with their own lights and things like that.
Yes.
The music is. Some of it is, how do you say, electronic too, because
the synthesizer
can produce a number of things, but there will also be live piano work by Eckhard Sieber.
Great.
And so you can represent a whole orchestra, of course, with your synthesizer, and the team does this, but the vocalists are 4 or 5, 6 vocalists, and people have asked me to please tell everybody that it's Les Miserables music as well, with equal representation, and as that music is more complicated, and
two of the most popular things going right now, that's for sure. Now, did you feel that the choice was made between yourself and the board to bring this concert here to make it a more available situation for people?
Yes, and we had a long discussion about ticket prices.
Yes,
because to make it pay, to just break even, we've discovered that we need to sell almost the whole house at the price we've set. But that, and I don't often do that. I have to sort of have a small margin of profit to be able to sort of
stay alive
here, but very small. And we've just set this at the smallest price we can to just as a return to the community, because people can't go to that stage production in Vancouver, and it's with that knowledge that the board insisted that we keep those ticket prices as low as we possibly could. Now, other communities aren't necessarily doing that; they're using them as major moneymakers, but this was our decision this year.
So we're going to be hearing some pretty fantastic music coming out of the Capitol that evening. Now, tell us the date that's been picked for.
Oh, that's my fault. I thought, why not, Friday the 13th, and he said it's free. The Phantom told me that. Yes.
That was it. Yes, we do have a Phantom at the Capitol. Didn't know that, did you? That's great. So will he'll be using the grand piano then
Our Yamaha, yes.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Okay, is there anything else that we need to know about the Phantom? Of course, all ages welcome.
Yes,
Certainly.
Yes, we don't have any special youth prices or anything because we've just done the best we can with those prices.
What price are
It's $12.50.
the tickets will be?
Yeah, it's $12.50.
And that includes
covers
the
GST and all the rest of it. Yeah.
rotten old. Yep, yep.
So 2 for $25 is the best we can do.
You're doing reserve seating for this concert?
Totally, yeah.
Okay. What would you say would be the main reason for doing reserve seating for concerts of this nature?
We find that people get anxious before performances if it's a very interesting one. They can buy tickets ahead of time, but even if they bought them, they have to get a seat that they want, they have to come at about 6:30 or 7 o'clock and sit around the lobby and be anxious and line up. And we find that the reserve seating takes that whole, realm of anxiety away. And also we find that people can go out for dinner and enjoy themselves beforehand, turn up at the theater 10 minutes before and their tickets are waiting for them. And the only wrong part of that, though, is that if we have somebody who's got a reserved seat and they're late, we have a problem because we can't let them walk in front of, 300 people to get their
Excuse me, pardon me.
So, in Vancouver, they make those people sit out in the back and watch things on closed circuit TV, which we don't have. But at least they must respect the rest of the theatre goers by coming early or being prepared to sit in the back till the first act is over.
So the show begins at 8 p.m. sharp,
We try
please.
to begin at 8 sharp because you don't want to punish the people who've come on time.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Well, that sounds like a lovely evening out. Actually, the suggestion of dinner first sounds marvelous.
Yeah.
Simply must talk to my husband about that one.
Maybe we'll suggest themed dinners to the restaurants. And
Ooh.
What does the Phantom eat for dinner?
You could think of a few things, never you mind.
I know the Les Miserables guys eat bread and water for dinner, so
That's it, totally. Yeah, we absolutely should not overlook the fact that some beautiful music comes out of Les Miserables, and it's a wonderful opportunity.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and I've listened to the vocalists on tape, and I particularly enjoyed the men on the tape, and I know the community here will too.
Great stuff. Yeah. Okay, something I wanted to touch on a little bit. Actually, before I do, let's just remind everybody. I know this will run for the end of this week anyway, but we have the theatre school happening right now in the Capitol Theatre. Boy, do we ever have it happening! And these 20 children are doing a marvelous job. The show is on Friday and Saturday, so please come out and support these kids. It's a wonderful, hilarious show. Good music and some really neat talent.
The kids have just jumped into it today. They've all of a sudden clicked. They
Yes.
had their first. We thought it would be a stumble through, but it was a run through, and it worked.
Really well.
A lot of energy. Yeah.
Really well.
See these lines.
Oh, it's been fun, hasn't it? Yes, yes, it has. Also, I wanted to mention such a superb performance that is coming into the Capitol. The Alberta Ballet will be there, and we actually do. You brought a tape with you.
I think we're going to see a piece of from Bolero, which is one of the, although not the headline piece in the Alberta Ballet's production on October the 15th, but it's a beautiful piece of work. So here's a bit of Bolero.
Yeah, let's have a little bit of that, shall we? And this is Capital Times. That was a snippet, just a little tease for you on the Alberta Ballet, which will be here, oh my gosh.
October the 15th.
October the 15th.
Day after Thanksgiving.
Perfect, the day after Thanksgiving. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of the sort of quality that you're going to be seeing with the Alberta Ballet. That was a little bit of Bolero, but
The Alberta Ballet is having its 25th anniversary this year.
Beautiful.
They're a well-recognized company, and for its anniversary celebration, they have invited 3 excellent, well-renowned choreographers to do pieces for them. And the headline piece is called the Carmina Burana. And it's the music, it's choral music, and it's very rousing, powerful music, and it's set to dance. But the dance is about secular and satirical poetry. I might even venture dirty poetry. No,
a little bit
I didn't say
sexual.
that. And anyway, so the dance is quite funny.
Yes.
Sometimes erotic, funny. It's poems found in a Bavarian monastery of the 13th century. And they had their fun too.
That was darn right.
And anyway, so that's the Carmina Burana, but the power in that doesn't usually come out in the music because it's all done in some other language. Now it'll come out because the dance will tell you all about it.
Yes.
And the other, Bolero has always been an audience, a powerful audience piece. So they're doing that. And the last 2 pieces are contemporary pieces of which I know nothing, but we are to take a chance and risk and see with these brand new pieces. There'll be the BC premiere of all of these pieces. One is called Vertex, and another one is called Liberté Tempérée.
Sounds wonderful.
Okay.
Well, now obviously there's a troupe of dancers. Do we have any idea of how many dancers there will be that will be coming to the theater?
No, I don't know precisely. I think it's a group of 20, but
Wow.
we have limitations on our stage.
Yeah.
We haven't got a dance stage, actually. It's a little bit narrow.
Yes.
However, they're going to make a special arrangement just for us because we have a very narrow stage.
Oh, wonderful.
That's where that proscenium arch goes.
Wonderful.
Should be 30 feet.
Would you encourage families with children who have never been exposed to opera and they're thinking, ooh, opera? This would be a really neat way to introduce opera to your children, would you say? Because it's
opera.
Excuse me,
we're on dance.
ballet. Hello, are you in there?
Yeah.
I'm thinking
dance.
music.
I think so. My children have never seen a ballet, I don't think. Maybe they saw the Nutcracker once in Victoria.
Yes.
But I think I wouldn't mind showing them this because we've never had a ballet company at the Capitol. We've had local ballet productions, it's usually contemporary dance. Our community likes contemporary dance better than it likes ballet. So,
but this sounds like fun.
It's the first ballet company I've had here.
Great. Yeah. Well, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it tremendously.
We're really proud of it.
Excellent.
Society, yeah.
One more question. Since I said opera, how do they put the music to the dance on this? Will it be synthesized, or will there be an orchestra of sorts?
Probably tapes. No,
tapes.
No, this is tape music.
I see.
It usually is when dance. I mean, beautiful.
Okay.
You need the music to surround you in dance.
The acoustics in the Capitol are just perfect for that too. Then, okay. So that's October the 15th, and the Phantom Concert. Remember again is
Friday the 13th, Karen.
Friday the 13th. So come on down and join us at the Capitol Theatre. We're glad to have you pop in and visit anytime you'd like to. Also, our art walk is still happening there. So please come on down and say hello. And that's about it for us this week. Thank you very much for being on the show, Margaret. And come see us, I mean it, at the Capitol. We want to meet you all. And we'll see you again, 2 weeks from now. Thanks. Bye now.